So if you're an INTP and you have done a lot of work on your introverted thinking and extroverted intuiting, maybe a little bit on your introverted sensing, and you're just like it's not getting you anywhere, or you just don't know what to do with all your information that you have or all the exploration that you've done, then I have some advice for you, and I think that it's going to help you a lot to get to the next stage. And what you're going to be looking to do is start developing your introverted intuition. Some people may decide extroverted thinking, which if your path is more set towards doing that, and if you're more of an analytical thinker at a time, TE may be the better decision. If you're more holistic, and I might be the better decision, or if you're more in the middle, then you kind of just have to choose. But you should only really work on developing one at a time, and hopefully it leads to the development of the other functions. Um, what I am going to say is because FE is your inferior, these functions are going to cause um, problems with harmony. Like they're going to disrupt harmony because they are logical thoughts that are getting extroverted to the world, and you kind of have to accept that. What I really want people to think towards is towards transcending your personality, more so than what the MBTI does is let you self actualize, which is great. And if you can work to maintain the characteristics of self-actualization, which I'll actually get into in another video, but there are characteristics of self-actualization, and there's and if you can fulfill those characterizations, then you can transcend, um, and we'll talk more about that later. But for right now, your next path is really to get to an I, so that you can start opening those doorways, um, or TE. But we're going to do NI today. And it's going to be pretty quick, actually. One thing I'm going to say is for an INTP, NI is going to be a lot different than it would be for a dominant NI user, which are like INTJs and INFJs, um, just because it's working more off of what is a more developed extroverted intuiting. So where NI for an INTJ or INFJ may be more like a mental meditation or a mental thought process, for an INTP to start tapping into the NI, they have to actually do some kind of extreme extroverted intuiting. And what I mean by this is extroverted intuiting is brainstorming, excited brainstorming. So it's either through conversation, because what conversation does is allow you to um, form more solid, concrete frameworks for whatever evidence you're using. Because if you're using TINE, then hopefully you're using it towards something that you're like learning too. Like a broad area, that's okay, but that you can kind of find a way to centralize things around. Um, and then, but that's not really the best way to do any way of doing your excited brainstorming. What you really want to do is do it independently. I would say you could take either um, either take like a vacation or something. You don't have to go on your vacation alone, but like take some time to really like go somewhere you've never gone or anything, and then afterwards, you're gonna do like a huge mind map. You can do it with sticky notes. You could do it on a big wall that you have at your house, um, or you can get like a huge poster board. However you want to do it, but you got to do a huge mind map, kind of framing out what you want to do next with all the information you have, and like what you're already working on, what hobbies. And that usually goes back to SI. What did you already give up? Sometimes that's kind of really important, because those things, if you were working on them and then you forgot to go back to them, or you have a better way of now utilizing them, doing some kind of mind map is really going to help. If this sounds interesting to you, let me know, because I'll put something together to show you guys how to do a mind map, because I've done a few. I've done short-term mind maps, and then like long-term 5-year mind maps, which are nice to go back to when you start feeling like, okay, I don't know what to do next, pretty much. And when you do these, where the NI comes in is you're going to start, you have like a bunch of information, right? And then if you do a sticky notes or something, you can actually make symbolic images of these things. It's kind of how I come up with business names or concepts for businesses and things like that. Or even like for when you're starting to think of like an image for a business, like how do you want this business to be perceived by the public? You have to get into some kind of archetype, and that's really where these subconscious images come up. So doing something creative is going to be like an extreme extroverted intuitive, kind of something you would see an ENFP do, or I guess ENTPs, but theirs are going to be like more I guess you like whiteboard kind of stuff. INTPs could do that too. It's just got to be extreme, and you have to kind of be free, let go, go do some wild stuff beforehand. You got to be ready to just like let your mind go, but you don't want to let your thoughts go. And that's one important thing. That's the most important thing I can tell you right now. As an INTP, meditation is not good for you in the way of like letting your thoughts go. It's your dominant cognitive function. Your meditation is going to be more of like bringing your thoughts together. I think for other types, yeah, it's okay, but for thinkers, you don't want to just let your thoughts go away from you most of the time, because if you try to shut those off, you can get like a gray, fuzzy area. It's happened to me. Um, so I don't meditate, but like I'll play meditations, but it's just subconsciously playing or something like that. But um, I don't recommend it for INTPs. I recommend just like really putting all your puzzle pieces up on display instead of just into your head. No one else even has to see it right away until you get to that aha moment, which it's like an archetype. There's where we're going with this thing. You really have to incorporate your everything, like who your friends and families are. Friend and family are, and I may start telling you like, hey, you got to let some people go. Depending on where you are in your life, work life, it may start telling you, hey, you can do more, or you can look towards something. It's really goal related, and especially towards you. And he's showing you all these possibilities, and I is showing you what's really possible when you can start doing this. So yeah, you want to center in on everything with NI. Then I think the obvious thing would be that's when you can actually start working on TE or SE, because I think NI may show that you're in a good position, but you just need to adapt. There's better ways of doing things. NI is going to show you a lot more of where you need to go. I think that's pretty much all I need to tell you right now. And I have more coming, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have anything you want to know about.